This device here, the Aoki C6 Pro, if I'm saying that right, Aoki, I'm not too sure. But this device is one of the best mods I have done for my 2024 Africa Twin yet. And I know, we all have seen tons of these random CarPlay devices out there, and I've tested quite a few. Heck, I use them on my Rally as well. And you're probably thinking, well, dude, the Africa Twin has CarPlay already on it. I'm gonna talk all about that in this video. So a couple things I really like about this device compared to some other ones I have tested is it has everything in it. It has a simplified remote. As you see, it has front and rear cameras, and it also has the tire pressure sensor there. And there's actually more packed into it. As far as installation, you can see it's pretty simple right there. On mine, I did route it up front, and then I just split into an actual fuse right there. So I actually went on to ignition, made it a little bit easier so I don't gotta splice wires. I do got a big old bundle of wires up front by my bars, which is a little annoying, but anyways, installation was fairly easy. Now while I'm talking about installation, I wanna talk about something I actually don't like, and that's the attachment point, the mounting bracket here. It is all plastic going around the bars, up here into the arm, and then the device holding it as well. It's all plastic, it feels chintzy, it rattles and moves around a little bit, which I guess is fine, so it's not really harming the electronics in there, but it feels chintzy and there's no quick adjustment. You have to get an Allen wrench to get down here and adjust it. That's probably an easy mod you can do yourself. But again, I wish there was something in there, quick adjustment, so you can again adjust that angle on the fly if you're getting a glare, which we'll talk about when we go riding. But again, the attachment point just feels chintzy. So as far as the device itself, it's pretty much self-explanatory. You go into CarPlay and it's just gonna mirror your phone, right? It shows you everything as CarPlay if you're used to it in your cars, or again, on any of your phones. You have all your maps right there, whatever other apps you have on here that's allocated with CarPlay or Android Auto. I use Apple, that's why I always say CarPlay. So you can see you got your Gaia, you got your Google Maps and all that stuff, your Waze, whatever apps you have on here will again work with CarPlay. Now, one thing I want to mention, as you're noticing the touch sensitivity, which I have no gloves on here, which it does work with gloves, but even that way, there is a slight lag. It's just mild. You can see I'll swipe and then it catches up right there. So that's a little bit of a stinker. It's not like deal breaking or whatever. It's actually kind of nice so you don't accidentally press something. But yes, just letting you know there is a mild delay in there. This little dot over here that you're seeing is just some quick settings to go to your camera, your brightness, which right now it's on full brightness. At night, I actually bring it down to the lowest brightness. Let's go and pull that back up. So this is just pretty much your basic shortcut settings, which will go back to the home. And this is your home screen. So you see you got Android Auto, you got Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth settings, panel, GPS info, which is pretty much just your location and then the elevation and such. And then drive and recording, which I don't know why it keeps recording by itself. I got to find a way to disable that, which you have to put a micro SD card in underneath it. Doesn't come with it, just a micro SD card down there to record, take pictures or whatever. So you got the front and the rear. Over here, you got the front and the rear, or the rear and the front this way. No, I got that opposite, front and rear over here. And then you can go just front, or you can go just rear, which is pretty much what I always keep it on. Over here, you got some settings as far as the camera. The resolution is 1080p at 720. Loop, how often you want it to loop for the recording. G sensor is like a crash detection that it says it has high to off, middle, low. I kept it on high and I never really noticed it do anything. I've never been in a crash, luckily. So I don't know, I can't test that, but that's what it does. Date, if you want the watermark on it there, so whenever it's recording, so you actually have that. This is voice recording, not sure, we'll see. We'll go out and capture some footage and see what it does. And then your GPS switch. So let me go back to home here, the home screen. So we talk GPS info, the panel info. This is kind of cool. It looks cool and everything, but it doesn't work legit. Like as far as your speed and stuff, it's not really on par, but it has your PSI as far as your tires right there. I can't figure out how to make it go to miles per hour. It's one thing I can't figure out. And then a little compass over here. That stuff's not too accurate. The PSI is dead on. I've checked it with multiple sensors, and then what it has on here, really like that. That's something I really like having on my bikes. Now, as far as the camera feature on this device, I know a lot of you has probably got some questions like, is it clear or can you use it for YouTube videos? Which we're gonna do some screen capture here in a second, but talking about it on the device, we got the camera on the front of the bike and then the camera on the back of the bike, and you can control it right by the remote on the bars here by swapping. Right now, we just got the back. Over here, you have front and back, split screen. Then you can go back and front split screen, which is just reversing them on the screen there. And then you can go just the front. I catch myself just leaving it pretty much on the back camera there. Like if I come to a stop, I can see if there's a car behind me or something, or someone coming up on me. That's where I leave it. Maybe in group rides, like off-roading, it's pretty nice so you can see if the group's still behind you. I don't catch myself looking down on it when I'm riding as, say, like a lane switch, like a blind spot thing. I don't do that. I just pretty much leave it there so whenever I come to a stop or something, I can see behind me or make sure my buddies are behind me or something like that. Now, as far as using the footage for, say, a YouTube video or something, I watched some playback, which I'm going to put up here for you guys right now. And as you can see, no, it's not really usable. It is 1080p, but it's very vibey, right? You got it on a motorcycle. There's a lot of vibrations from this, from the road, just the engine and stuff, and the front and back camera are just incredibly vibey. So no, I wouldn't use it for YouTube or any kind of social media post. Now, a couple tips for using this device, or heck, really any CarPlay device, especially on your Africa Twin that has CarPlay already on it. I don't know many other bikes that have it. I'm not too sure. Let me know down in the comments if any other bikes do have CarPlay on it. But anyways, again, as far as me leaving my phone on the bike, so I'll leave it right there so I got my both of them going. But if you're running your bike with a MiFi cable, it's Apple certified, it's automatically going to sync CarPlay up to your screen. So you have to find a cable that's not MiFi. The new iPhones are USB-C, so I'm not too sure how that works. You got to find one of those. But anyways, you want a cable that's not going to sync your phone to the actual motorcycle itself, so CarPlay doesn't pop up there, because you want everything to be synced up over here. Hopefully that makes sense. The other thing is the glare. Yes, as you saw, it has a glossy screen, so there is going to be a glare on it. Hence the reason I had to angle mine down a little bit, so it always kind of creates that little bit of shade over it. And to answer that one question that I said in the beginning that I think a lot of people will be asking, it's like, why do I need this if I have my phone, or heck, the bike already has CarPlay? Well, as you can see, what I like doing, and you see me use it in multiple of my videos, even if I'm on the 300L rally, is I like a map here and a map there. I use Gaia all the time. So if I got Gaia pulled up, I can zoom in on Gaia on my CarPlay device, and that's my close up, turn by turn that I can see. Over here, I got it panned out, and I can actually see my entire map and what's coming up down the road. Or whatever. You say you got your music over here, you can still have an app over there, or vice versa. You know, you can have multiple setups and still have your main dash on your bike, especially the Africa Twin. If you're using CarPlay on the main dash, well, you're not going to get your main info. And I like my tack right there and see my fuel. And I just like seeing my suspension, all the stuff, my traction control, everything I have right there. Now I can do that. I got my CarPlay here, got my map over there, and then I have my main screen settings. For the Africa Twin, it just eliminates the headache of the built-in CarPlay, which is so stinking finicky and just annoying. Now I can utilize everything. For the people that ask, why do I need this if I already have a phone? Again, it's the key of having multiple maps. If you're like me and you love getting lost and just getting out and riding, right? It's nice to have that. And you go for long distance. I'm not just going to my local Starbucks or grandma's house, you know what I mean? I like getting out and riding. And having that, like multiple maps or waypoints, say you got Waze up on one and then your actual map over here, it's nice to have multiple. A lot of people will probably be saying, hey man, that's device overload. I want to get on my bike and, you know, just unwind, unplug, disconnect, you know? I get that. But again, I'm out there riding for distance, getting lost and, you know, just getting out there and having these devices kind of guiding you, especially if you're off-road, if you're following a Gaia map again. It is so beneficial. I just won't run my bikes without one of these devices. But one of the things I like the best here, as I've been using it for a while, and the price has dropped. Regularly, it was $327, but right now it's $219. For $219, it's one of the better ones I have used. I really like this one.